Hi guys, I'm Mike. This is Ed, and we're the photographers at Institute of Photographers. We're here to do a live webinar with you today. Just have a chat, really.
Yeah.
Just talk about the courses, see what's what. And then if you've got any questions, we'll answer some of them. We've got our phones with us, so we'll fly some questions at you. So obviously we shot a wedding yesterday.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool.
Yesterday.
Well, a few days ago actually.
A couple of days ago. Yeah, down Ferry Hill. It was really good, fair play. The couple were really nice. So it makes it that much easier, I think, just to get good shots because they're more willing, innit?
Yeah.
They're up for anything. Whereas some couples,
Did help.
Yeah, a bit more challenging.
Well, the weather wasn't great though. If you ever see the shots, we'll probably post some of the shots for you anyway. But there's one shot where the literally bride was running in high heels because it was literally downpouring.
Yeah, but I think it also makes it then because the weather was rubbish.
Yeah.
She had to run then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because I've had brides where they've seen photos like that and they want to recreate it.
Yeah.
And like, well, it's not even
That's very
raining,
true.
and then they run it, and then there's like, it just looks like somebody running it.
Yeah, getting a hose pipe and all that type of stuff for X, Y, Z.
Yeah, so it was genuine. You could see the motion in the face and everything.
It was kind of cool, really.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was a good day because we got the informal ones and then informal fall photos and had a laugh photos and you know what I mean, even night shots and daytime shots and a bit of a mixture all day, wasn't it? Really.
Yes, yeah, and I think
Which is a nice mix, really.
Yeah, and like literally every single time you asked them to come out, they were there straight away.
Yeah. That doesn't happen all the time. Let me just put you that way.
No, I think that's one of the difficulties of the like more weddings.
Yeah.
You know, the more weddings you do, you realise it's hard because like I can understand where they're coming from. They, you know, they've got so many guests to say hello to, and then you haven't seen them for years, and you just end up stopping and talking, and then like time just flies by.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So they were really good. They'll just come out straight away. So fair play to them. They were on the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. So obviously we're just going to talk about how we got into it and stuff like that. Just tell you a bit of a background on ourselves and things like that, so you have a rough idea. If you ever come to one of our courses or things like that, we're just very chilled. If you ever notice we ever shot a wedding with us, we just have a laugh.
Yeah. Or
and that's the best way.
keep an eye on our Instagram stories. And see.
You will probably have stories.
see the work we don't actually do.
But the thing is, we're all about having a laugh. We'll get the work done anyway, but and then the clients, and then that shows on the clients end, doesn't it? Because the clients, you know, they're so chilled.
Yeah, and I think it's nuts because like some people have like when they book me or you, they're like, oh, I want Mike to second shoot because looking at your stories. You guys seem like to have
vice versa.
Laugh, like, so.
Vice versa. Yeah. Every time, is that going to be there? Sometimes the client doesn't even know. Yeah. Yourself or hadn't even seen you. Remember Sarah and Josh's wedding? And obviously, because we post so many other times with ourselves, she already knew. And she, just so you both know, everyone knows that they live in America, so we didn't see them. They didn't see Ed. They didn't see myself. They just seen what our stories was, and stuff like that. And you go, "Oh, is that going to be the second shooter?" Oh, well, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Don't worry.
I know it's funny because like, it feels as if they already know us then.
Yeah, and then by the time you see that, he's like, "Oh, hi guys," you know what I mean? So that's keep it kind of real, right? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I've been doing photography about 20 years, coming up to around that price mark now. I'm 42 now, you see. I started when I was like 18, 19, 20, something like that. So I started doing my HND in photography. I do a short version of this because I'll be here all day otherwise. So I did my A-level photography, HND in photography, started working in camera shops, so I know all the technical side of stuff, as well as the practical side of stuff. Practical was in college, technical side was more shops, because we were trained with Canon, Nikon, Olympus. Yeah. You name it.
What shops are you working?
Worked at Jacobs, and back in the day they're not around anymore, and then obviously Jessop's.
Oh yeah.
And then they went bust, stuff like that.
Because you was there.
No, I was well gone before that time, mate. Can't blame me for that, I'm afraid. Obviously still had the company when I was up in Liverpool, stuff like that. Started it then, so I was driving back and forth. Obviously, we're based in South Wales now, if you didn't know that. And then pretty much and then obviously we did stuff in Selfridges, things like that, and then obviously met the wife, moved down to South Wales.
So did you have one? You had one vision when you were up in Liverpool.
Yep.
Did we do weddings then?
A little bit, not as much.
Oh right, so it's quite easy when you transitioned.
Well, I was single as well, so I could go around. So every weekend, it's like for about 2 years, I was driving down to London. And I was doing stuff for like Selfridges, and I was doing like some of the brands.
But like
down there.
no, as in like when you moved to Wales, did you have to feel as if you're starting from scratch again?
A little bit.
A new client base then.
Yeah, a little bit because I didn't know. Yeah, basically I had to start from scratch. Obviously, I started working. That's where I started working in Jessop's stuff like that.
Right.
Because when I was in Liverpool, I didn't work with Jessop's. You see, so I started working for them when I got there. Yeah. I was there for about 6 months, close to 12 months. And then obviously Isabel came along, which is my daughter, and then realised doing a 9 to 5 didn't really work with the little one. So we were like, so I had to change the whole dynamics, and that's another reason why it works extremely well now. So I worked for the last 16 plus years now, full time in this. It just works well with the family. So
yeah.
You know, I can work around appointments. I can edit when I wanted to. I can do when they were little. I used to take them, turn them to bed, go downstairs for a few more hours, edit some weddings, whatever else.
I know it is handy.
And then, the rest is pretty much history, really. Like you know what I mean. And then, obviously Nate came along, XYZ, and then the rest is pretty much history. We just, I wouldn't change anything if I was honest, especially that point of view. Like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It just works from a family point of view, like you know what I mean. So there is. That's the good thing with this industry, though, because you do have time.
Yeah.
And people do book 12 months in advance or 24 months in advance and all that stuff. So you do have, you can see your schedule and far in advance. You go, right, I can't do X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? I'll just do Y, like you know what I mean. So it does work, like you know what I mean? So What about yourself, Ed?
So I started off in IT. Worked in IT for.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh! I literally I left school, went to uni, college, uni, doing IT, thinking, oh yeah, I like computers. And then when I started doing it, I didn't actually like it. But I was in it anyway, so I was like, oh, it's too late now. Which in reality wasn't too late, but I was young. Anyway, and then I worked in IT for, I don't know, a good 6-7 years as a programmer. And then I picked up a camera, and then I was like, I just got into photography, and then I was like, oh, these lenses, I need a faster lens or whatever, and then it was like, it was so expensive, so I decided to photograph people for like 20 quid here and there, and then all started from there. I just all rolled from there, and then built up my equipment from there. Somebody asked me to do a wedding. I was like, oh my god.
That happens.
Yeah. So I said no first of all, and then I had confidence, and then I was like, yeah. Okay,
can you remember the first wedding?
I can remember.
I can remember mine.
Yeah. Rebecca and Richard in Armanford.
My first wedding was in Preston.
Preston.
Yeah, Preston. Yeah.
Oh, right.
And it was on didn't have digital cameras. I did it on medium format film.
Yeah.
So I had like 12 or 24 shots.
Nice.
And then
nice easy day then.
I don't know about that.
Well,
the stress levels a bit high because I had to go over, run over, light meter them, come back over, set all the camera manually.
Did you have spare rolls with and everything just in case you messed up? Like? So what do you use that one roll? That's it.
That's to make sure no light gets in there. Make sure sellotape it over, put in a black bag to be on the safe side.
Yeah. All right.
And then load up a new film, and then off we go again. But the thing is, well, obviously digital, you're like that. Well, you are. Several
trigger happy.
Yeah, trigger happy. But for myself, it's more. You literally just have to do like one shot, crank it. Yeah. Next, one shot, click it.
Yeah, well, it's weird you say that with the trigger happy, because when I was shooting the DSLRs on the Canon 5D4, I would take roughly 1,100 photos and then I'll deliver 900.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then now with the mirrorless, it's just so easy. Just hold it down. I think like I didn't trust the focus on the Canon, so that's why I got in the habit of taking more shots than one.
Yeah.
Just for what, like just even 3 shots of just a bouquet. The bouquet's not even going to move.
No.
So it's a bad habit, but I'm started. I don't know whether you noticed recently.
I have noticed.
I started to cut down and
yeah. But then I've said to you many times that I used to be like that. but then since the pandemic stopped and I was going back, I actually stopped doing
the continuous shutdown.
Yeah, and just kind of slow down a bit.
Yeah.
So if you ever do want to have a workshops and courses, that's one thing it's one thing I would say, and I'll teach you how to do it. And I say where the client doesn't look like you're actually waiting for a particular, you talk to them X, Y, Z, keep talking to your clients where you're setting something up. Take that extra 5 or 10 seconds time to actually get it right, pose them right, lighting right, which is kind of key. Or look even the last wedding where we were at, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it's important, like, even if you take a rubbish shot. Well, I don't know, actually. Right, when I first started and I took rubbish shots, I wouldn't tell them. I'm like, that's really nice. Well, yeah, now because I've gained experience, I'll take a couple of shots.
You go, it doesn't look right.
And I was like, I'm just on this. I'm just like, that shit, guys. Just go there.
Yeah.
I think they appreciate the honesty then, isn't it?
Yeah, the thing is,
and because we're confident with it.
Yeah.
We know what works.
Yeah. And the thing is with that, you just kind of go, right, okay, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Guys, that didn't work. Didn't look as good as what I thought it was going to look like. Reset it.
It's quite rare though, because a lot of times we could just look at a scene without the bride and groom being there, without the cameras.
Difficult with the wedding we just did last. As I said, one second it was raining, as we all know, and next minute the sun popped out, and it was like just below the bushes in the sea, and then the sun was popping out.
Yeah.
So it was we had like harsh light to then no light to then soft light to
so you're frantically
with grey.
Changing your settings constantly.
Yeah. So but I like that though, because that's personally a challenge, and I personally like that. And every shot then looks different, not the same.
If you literally just move 90 degrees around the couple, and you got a completely different look.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean?
So.
Yeah. So what else? Yeah. So obviously the reason why we're doing this is to obviously talk about our Q&As, questions and answers, and all that type of stuff. So obviously at the minute we've got a couple of courses. So we got the mentorship. So that's most people go between 12 and 24 months, and that's kind of cool really, because you get odds too. And the difference between that course is it's not just a video. It's not videos. You actually speak to human beings. You actually speak to us. And that's just to help you, support you, to mentor you. Right from branding, SEOing, you actually come to real weddings as well.
Yeah,
and I think that is crucial.
Yeah, and I think it's also important that you get like a live video with us rather than, because like if it's recorded, you get all the information you want, but then you can have questions, but then like you can have to type it all out. But then like if you're talking to us in live and you ask us questions, then you'll have more questions as they come.
Yeah, and that's the right thing to do, because students now who are on that course, they like, I had someone message today said that, are you free Thursday, for example? I was, yeah, that's fine, come down or go online or whatever, and we'll sort it out, like, because he wants to go to the next step. He wants to look at the branding, his website, XYZ, like, you know what I mean? So obviously we're not just kind of say thanks very much. Thanks very much for paying for the course, and here you go. Here's a load of videos. No, that's not the way I want to set this up, and it's not the way we want to. You don't learn from a book, shall we say?
Yeah.
And you can't learn everything just watching one video, because as Ed said, you might just have other questions, and at least then you can send us a WhatsApp or message or whatever it is, and then we've done this for many years, shall we say? So we. Trust me, I've done a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
A lot of errors in business as well as the photography side. So it's all together, and that's one good thing with it. So obviously, with that, you'll actually come to, if you ever sign up to the mentorship programs, it's actually, as I said, you can sign up to 12 months. We do have less than that, but most people go for 12 and 24. Because if I was honest with you, it's the same price. And the reason why we set it at the same price is because in the first year, you basically going to set everything up in the first year. In the second year, it's this continuous of the first year. But the difference is, as Ed would know, a lot of people book weddings 12 months in advance. So obviously we can help and support over that long period of time. Because in that first month, you basically set it up, you probably get free bookings. But it's the following year, which is the crucial bit. That's where you then, you got everything, all the prep, and now it's you put it all in action and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know obviously we'll tell you the guidance and stuff like that, but the good thing with that, you come to real weddings with us, not just models, not just things. It's actually real brides, real things, real experience.
And I think and like real conditions. So maybe like you got all the plans to like nice day, photograph group outside, but no, it's gonna be raining. It's gonna be windy as hell. You gotta think of a backup plan on the spot then. So you got
to think of feet on your thing, and it's just knowing, as you said, though, back to the confidence. You know, you think, oh God, that didn't go too well as I thought. Oh shit, let's try something differently.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or sometimes you have clients, sadly, who might say to you, oh, don't want, the weather might be great or X, Y, Z. Again, we'll show you what to do with that because that's kind of crucial. And then we you'll see firsthand how we do it. Sometimes we might do shoots inside as well as outside. Use off-camera flash, inside and outside. Sunlight, no sunlight, X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got, and again, you'll learn all this, like light and how we do things and how we talk to clients. And if I was honest with you, that's the big.
That's the main thing, isn't it? Yeah. You can't just like. No. Oh, so I'm like I've joined like camera clubs where they'll shoot models and like every like they'll hunt like 20 people around.
Yeah.
And they'll take turns, but none of them will actually say hello to the model. So me and another photographer, because like another photographer there who is a professional photographer as well. So I'll literally go up and say, "Hi, I'm Ed. How are you? You alright?" So and then I'll start shooting. Then you can't just go up to someone and just start taking photos. No. It's just weird.
The thing is, you got to be personal. So it's a bit like every time we go into bride prep in the morning, because the only person you're going to roughly kind of see he doesn't do this, I do this. So no, what I mean is that obviously I have consultations. Meetings. I have meetings and consultations, and I offer engagement shoots. So I said, Ed doesn't do that. He just racks up. Well, he's a very confident guy anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. But it was but for me, it's kind of like, so I go to the bride, and I would find, and then I'll go straight in, and I say hi to all the bridesmaids.
Yeah.
And I won't just stay in the corner. I'll go, hi everyone, blah, blah, how's everything? How's all the morning going? Talk to everyone first.
Yeah.
And then the minute even if you go, you're right, I'll be back in 5 minutes, go into the cameras, go and put all the cameras on. You know you're at the right house. Everyone knows you now.
Yeah.
So by the time you go on the cameras, they're like, it's just Mike. And then just start having a laugh, banter and stuff like that. And then you then snap away and then you and then that's how you're going to get the cool little reaction shots.
So you got to be happy all the time, which is difficult because like we don't know your situation. In the past, before leaving the house, I would have had an argument with somebody, and then I'd be in a bad mood. But then I have to turn up and I have to be happy.
Yeah.
So I'm inside. I'm like, oh my God, I hate this. And then all of a sudden I come into the bridal prime and go, hi, that's me. I do something. You guys, you're right.
Yeah.
And then like. You start, like, you fake it till you make it. And then all of a sudden you're in a good mood and, all is good then. But that's the thing with our jobs. We have to be happy all the time. Yeah. Like a lot of entertainers.
And that's one thing the programme will teach you straight up to, like, marketing plans, editing, websites, the whole saboon, really. Do you know what I mean? So if you are looking to set up, or even if you are a photographer looking to improve, because even we are constantly improving ourselves.
Yeah.
I would never sit down here or do a video or tell anyone that I know everything because
it's crazy because like even when we go to a wedding and like you're standing next to me, we set a couple up and like we'll see it's completely different.
Yeah.
So a lot.
That's very true.
One of the main things I usually find is like. If you see like a nice tree, you get the wide angle out straight away. You get the whole tree in and everything. Whereas I love a bit of compression, so I'll get long lens out and then just like zoom in.
I do have to say, I'm using my 85 a lot more now though.
No, I know, but like it's
lot more than normal.
It's more your go-to. Your safe shot, and then you'll venture out.
That's true.
That's another thing. You get.
That's very true.
Before you start getting creative, you've got to get your safe shots.
The safe shots, that's very true.
The mantelpiece shots. For the parents, so make sure you get those right. And then you can just go and start being creative. Because if you do it the other way around, trying to be creative, and then you mess up, then you run out of time, and then bride and groom stressed, and then you can't, you just can't get a normal shot.
But it's all about the shots, because obviously we've got a system in place where I've seen other photographers don't do this, and it just like takes an hour to do it. Our system takes 10-15 minutes to do all the group shots.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't need to be longer than that. You know, personally, some people take over an hour, and you see the bride and groom get frustrated, X, Y, Z, and it's like,
Yes, because
and
a lot
that's
of
really
times I get given a list, and I swap the list around, and they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember once I shot a wedding in Italy, and I remember this so vividly, and it was friends of ours anyway, friends of mine actually. And then we went to Italy, and I literally had 10 minutes. I had 10 minutes to go to the shop. So I just shouted it. I said, right, ladies and gentlemen, I've only got 10 minutes to do it. Everyone please listen to me, because I've only got a short amount of time. And then literally, and I remember the bridegroom said, Mike, you've done this before, haven't you? Oh, yeah. If everyone listens to me, bang, 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 it doesn't need to... And I literally probably did about 20 to 30 different group shots in the space of 10 minutes. And straight after that, I had a couple of minutes then, I ran into the room and shot the whole room. The whole service room.
Yeah, you would have
it literally, in a short period of time. It can be done. You just got to believe in yourself and trust that you can do it. But obviously, because I've done so many weddings, I have a particular system to use. And you literally... you start big, go small, or sometimes I add and then go bigger. So it's obviously, if you go on the course of X-Ray, I'll tell you and show you how it's all done. And the good thing, if you ever come to a real wedding with us, you'll actually see us do it first time. And then obviously, even if you're second shooting, which is sometimes second shooting, or I second shoot for Ed, you know, again, it's very different from main shooting, if that makes sense. So
definitely.
You know what I mean? So again, you'll have that conversation, and you'll see how we do it as a main and also as a second. So if you ever go to a main or a second, then it's there, like, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's kind of like crucial. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice to get that experience through second shooting first.
Yeah.
It's a bit more relaxed then, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously we have that. We got that. We're also planning in the art of wedding photography as well, which is going to be all online courses, stuff like that. That's all online. So again, that's going to be a little bit different to what that's going to be subscriptions, stuff like that, probably coming later on in 2024. So that'll be exciting to do. We'll be probably doing an SEO one. The amount of times people ask me about SEO. So that'll be a big one. So we're going to film that. So we're going to have an online one for that, but we're also going to do we also offer that in class as well, so like a workshop as well, which is going to be cool. So then we're going to film that XYZ. We also have photographers hangout. Sorry, we all don't hang out and get drunk. Sorry, Ed. So it's like every month obviously there's a little fee on that. There's like so it's like all online. It's all recorded. So even if you can't make it, the recording's actually there. So that's actually kind of cool. So even if you do miss a particular one, that's like every start of the month, XYZ. So if you got any questions or anything like that, it's just all there. Any support, it's just there. And that's for like an hour, 2 hours, and then. But again, even if you can't make it. It's all recorded. It's all in the library, stuff like that online. So that's kind of cool. What else are we planning to do? We got a 5-day workshops, and we also do a 1-day wedding workshops. Again, the 1 day is a little bit more. I call it more of a quick course. You kind of
like a crash course.
Yeah, it's like a generalised things. Talk about everything. Look at your work. See what you need working on. Obviously, we can't do the whole thing in a short. So it's short little bullet points. Hopefully you get loads of information for that. 5-day one's a little bit longer, so obviously we might do like posing, business, branding, upselling, which is massively. He's still working on his. I've mastered mine.
Lazy.
I wouldn't say that, mate. But it's like...
I know I should do it, because, it's a big income in there.
Oh, yeah, well, I've told you with the stuff I've
done. And it's like, you've already done the work, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's just the thing is, you've done the work, but it's the amount of showing the client, selling it without selling it to them, and then that's kind of like where I don't actually physically sell anything. They just upgrade. I had someone in here, and just recently, and they spent like an extra £600.
Nice.
Just like that. I just showed them a few things because everything was on site and everything here. They could physically see everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Even I was a bit like, fucking heck, I wasn't expecting that. But fair play, like, you know what I mean? not gonna say no to it, like. So yeah.
I look forward to that episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it might be a good idea, actually, to do something like that.
Yeah.
Show people like album designs and stuff like that.
I'll come in, pretend to be a client, and go, oh yes, I like this one.
Yeah. So there's stuff like that. We're obviously constantly growing and constantly going to keep adding stuff. Obviously, with the art, it's going to be a subscription fee, but then that's going to be every month, every other week, stuff like that. We're going to upload videos, real weddings, how we done things, how we shot things, how we, X, Y, Z. Again, if I was honest with you, that's what I also say. Just because I do it one way, he might do it in a different way, or vice versa. There's no one thing I will say to you all is no right or wrong way of doing it. Even if I shot something like this, it doesn't mean, and Ed might shoot it very similar, but then very different to me. It's the same thing. Yeah. But as long as you get the end product, it doesn't really matter. Because you probably see loads of videos of people say, oh, well, he shoots at this ISO and that f-stop and this shutter speed and X, Y. Don't get too complexing with that.
Yeah.
As long as you know the basics, X, Y, Z, the rest will just come. That's why I'm a big believer, because you shoot very different to me anyway, from camera-wise and settings-wise. And
I think as long as it's sharp and it's nicely exposed, it doesn't have to be nicely exposed because you're shooting raw, because you can fix it.
Yeah, that's true.
As long as it's sharp, it's fine.
Yeah. And trust me, raw's key. Don't yeah.
Yeah, it is raw. Yeah, shoot raw, guys.
Yeah.
And another biggie is emotion, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like true. Brides love emotion. They love seeing emotion. So like that rain shot, like when they were running in the rain, we were talking about. Yeah. I think she loved that because it's so genuine and you can see it in her face and everything.
If you know them, they're quite sporty people anyway, so she likes running.
In her heels.
In her heels.
I know. They were fair play to her.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah, she did very good. Yeah. It's just nuts, like, so it's so that's all the stuff we're gonna probably do, things like that. Actually, let's go through a few questions. Let me have a look. Let's see what's what.
Have a look while I get my coffee.
Excuse me. What are the key elements of a successful wedding photo? Oof.
I think we talked about,
lighting one.
Yeah.
Understand lighting. Now, for me, you will get clients who say, I want to be posed. Or don't. Sorry, I said that wrong. Don't want to be posed.
Oh, right, yeah.
But technically, they do want to be posed. So there's a way
around that. Stand there, otherwise, isn't it?
Otherwise, you stand there. But then the thing is, you don't want. Every wedding dress is different, and every person is different. So again, understanding that is a big crucial thing.
Yeah, I think so. And like the amount, so on my website, literally all the photos on my website are posed, and I get so
directed,
posed. So the amount of couples that come up to you, oh, I love your wedding photos. They're so natural.
Yeah.
Like, but they're all actually posed. So.
Yeah, but it's a way.
But like Mike said, it's directed. So like we literally just put you guys there, and then just like very slight changes, and just
at the end of the day, if someone's slouching, looking like this, or someone's holding a shoulder, you can't see their face. You go, oh, let's say relax, blah blah.
Holding a bouquet up there.
So there's a fine line of relaxing.
Adjust.
Yeah, I don't like to use the word pose. I don't like to use the word posing.
Yeah.
I use the word directing because I said to the client, I say to him, listen, obviously I don't want you to look rubbish. So and then it depends on the dress and what they physically look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And depends on how you pose. I'm going to use the word pose, but direct them to a way where they look good. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
And then I just say, sometimes we'll say to them, I'll just talk to each other.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we'll say we'll have a joke with them, we'll laugh with them and stuff like that, and that's how you get the emotions then.
Yeah.
You've done that work, or you've done the dress, X, Y, Z, and the next minute, just a bit of banter and stuff like that, and that actually goes the long way.
Because I got good jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, if you ever come, you'll see the cracking jokes. Some of them are not appropriate for this video.
That joke's for the win. I don't know appropriate.
Well,
yeah, that's the other thing as well, because some couples.
Oh, that's right.
You need to watch what you say, and then some couples, when you can just like swear your ass off or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's funny though, because you can even then turn around to them and go, "Well, hold on a second." You can even turn around and say, "Yeah, it's like the one we did, and then I shot one afterwards." I was a lot ruder on the next next wedding than because I knew that I could take it. Because they were telling rude jokes to themselves. So I know in fact I can push it. So as they say, know your audience.
Yes.
Shall we say that's probably
read
crucial?
The room,
read the room, read the people. And again, that over time you will understand that a little bit more. Like.
Yeah.
But that is kind of crucial.
Yeah, because like I've done group shots in the past. Well, like, guests are just hanging in the background. It's a nightmare. Yeah. And I'm like, guys, get out the fucking way. They will. Yeah. You might want to cut that out, I don't. But anyway.
Nah, keep it in. No one's gonna watch it.
But yeah, I know. And then they all laugh then, and then like they will just get out the background. It's just like, yeah. And then at the weddings, you just got to be polite, and or you just like, but they're too fast sometimes. You just got to wait for people to move. Then, so you're just like, right, ready, guys? That kind of thing. So yeah. So what have we got next on the list?
Right then. What equipment do you consider?
Mm-hmm.
What equipment do you consider essential for wedding photography? Oh. Yeah.
In my head,
camera lenses.
I literally, as long as you got a camera. So I mean,
that's true.
Right. I think if I was if I wanted to challenge myself, I would literally take one camera, 35mm lens, or maybe a 50, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then shoot with that all day long.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon I'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because you when you get to a certain level of experience, you're able to get the best out of every situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like if you're starting off, I wouldn't get too hung up about the equipment you use.
I think some people overthink it.
Yeah.
I think for me, when I first started, I always started to do like 24-70, 2.8, all that type of stuff, and then about 6-7 years ago, I went all full. Sorry, not full frame. I went.
Mirrorless.
No.
Digital.
Single lenses.
Oh, prime lenses.
Prime lenses. Sorry.
Prime lenses.
Prime lenses. So obviously 35. So when I shoot now, I got a 35 this side and I got an 85 this side.
Yep.
And then I have another one, as you said, wide angle, 14-24, all this type of stuff.
Yeah, I think but that when you're starting off though.
Yeah, I think.
So no, because I think like when you're starting off, it's quite maybe your fees would be lower. And
yeah.
You will have.
You will have a zoom lens.
No, you'll have budget weddings. You'll get budget weddings.
Yeah,
like,
true.
So you may be in a workman's club or something, and it might be dark. So a flash.
Oh yeah.
A flash would be handy.
So
we'll teach about on-camera flash, how to make more flattering. Then. Yeah. But yeah, so I think so.
Yeah. And the only downside to that,
it's good like escape method type of thing.
And you'll only find if some churches or some places won't allow you to use flash either during service. No. So then that will then test yourself as well as your equipment, and that's when you realise, sugar, I wish I've got X, Y, Z. And it's only then you'll realise, oh shucks, maybe I need to get X, Y, Z now.
Yeah, so that's whenever somebody asks me what camera should I buy, I've got this camera ready. I always try to find out like what's limiting you in your current camera. Why do you feel like you need a new one?
Yeah.
So for me, I upgraded because I was shooting dark churches. I had a Canon 450D at the time.
Oh gosh.
Little crop sensor.
Yeah.
So every time I was at like more than 800 ISO, it was really noisy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't happy with that, so I upgraded so that I could get cleaner images at higher ISO.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, if someone's starting off, or if someone's got the money, X, Y, Z, it's like I started off with little cameras and started big, and then if you look at my equipment now, Jesus, I've got more equipment than anything else. Like it's unbelievable.
Weigh you down.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, just build it up slowly. Don't worry too much about it. That's what I tell all the people who are on the mentorship at the minute, because I do get asked that question quite a lot actually. Or maybe I should need to buy this lens, that lens. I always say to them, when you come to a wedding, bring what you've got, then practice with that.
Yeah.
And then it's only by then you will realise, oh, do you know what? Oh, I found this would be better to do that job, or this, you know what I mean? So, and then I always say to the students, I say, listen, don't need to buy. Like, you can buy second hand, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I've done that.
I've done that. Second hand stuff.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, there's no shame in that at all, like, you know what I mean? And you don't have to get the Canon, Nikon, or Sony lenses, the Sigma, Tamron, and other lenses you can buy.
Oh, yeah,
you know what
yeah. All mine are Sigma.
That's what I mean, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't ever think that you're limited to one thing, because luckily for in our industry, there are other third lenses and whatever else where you can third party lenses and all that sort of stuff. Like,
and I think at the end of the day, it's literally just a black box, you know, that does things.
Yeah.
So I could pick up Mike's camera. So I'm shooting Sony. He's got Nikon. As long as I know how to change the ISO, the aperture, and the shutter speed, I can, you know, I'll be able to rock up to a wedding and shoot the whole wedding on his camera without learning how to use it.
Yeah.
You know, except those three settings.
Yeah. Right then. We've already answered some of these questions already.
My coffee's gone now.
See, I've got someone asking us now, how do you handle low light indoors ceremonies or evenings? So we just kind of answered a little bit of that already. So
yeah.
Flash.
So, we'll go into more detail.
Yeah.
In the Flash workshop.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing that one as well.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye out for that one, and we're also going to do a posing one as well, because I think
a directing one.
Yeah, direct one. So obviously we're gonna like film. We're gonna get a couple of models, stuff like that. We're gonna film the whole thing, singles together, the way we do it at weddings. But if you ever come to a real wedding with us, you'll actually see us anyway doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So again, that'd be cool. Funny enough, someone asked you, can you share some tips of posing couples in a way that looks natural? There you go. We've already answered that one for you. So thank you very much.
One step ahead.
I like that. How do you manage the photography schedule on a busy wedding day? Well, every wedding day is a busy one. Timing's crucial, because you don't want to piss off the venue.
Yes.
Or the vicar. But then, if I was also completely honest with you, photography is to blame for everything, even if it's not your fault.
Oh, yeah.
You will get a blame for absolutely everything.
Yeah, and I've learned from this, because like during bridal prep, obviously, a lot of times they'll run late.
Yeah.
So I try to get my shots really quick and early, and I'll get to the ceremony room really quick and early, so that they know that I'm done.
Yeah.
And then so if they're late, then it's not on me.
Yeah.
I've done everything.
Yeah.
So you do kind of like, you know, you got just cover yourself really.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
But the amount of weddings I've done, and the hair and makeup's overspent.
Yeah.
And then the photographer was doing this, and I said, well, it's not, because there's like.
Yeah, they're recording the reels or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've had that a few times. But timing is crucial. I always talk to the wedding coordinators on the day. What time? So because then I already know the timings, because I might have had them call statements earlier on. But I always double check with them, just in case from that time when they had a meeting with me to the time on the day, that could sometimes it has actually changed. Sometimes might put the speeches first or whatever else, or timing is slightly bit different.
Yeah.
And I always say if they're sitting down, let's say 4 o'clock, they might start sitting down at 3:30, for example. You know what I mean? So and then I said, right, okay. So I say in my head, right, okay, I'll make sure I'm finished as much as I can there. But a lot of photographers don't realise, and we do this quite often because we do quite a bit. But remember, you still got time after the food and speeches to grab the couple and do stuff then.
Yeah.
So don't think.
And the light would have changed as well.
And don't think you just got to cram everything in, and then 2 hours you might have to do all the photos. Because trust me, the client doesn't want to stand there for 2 hours just doing photos.
Yeah.
They're planning a wedding, and the last thing they want to do is sit there.
They want to go party and...
Yeah, they want to have a drink and mingle. They understand that they want to have photos. They know that, because they wouldn't have booked us otherwise. But there's a fine line of then, do you know what? If you know it's going to be a lovely day, you're going to do it. But then afterwards, even if in summer weddings or spring summer weddings to winter weddings, how we shoot it is completely different, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Completely. The way we shoot it, the way we operate is too different. It's almost like a different wedding, really, altogether. Like.
Yeah. It's just working with the light as well, isn't it?
Yeah, work what you got. Obviously, cameras flashing and all that type of stuff is kind of crucial there, like, you know what I mean? So yeah. Where are we now?
Well, just to add on to that, with the timing, so we already know the ceremony time and the wedding breakfast time. So we'll tend to work around that then.
Yeah. So someone says, how do you ensure a decision range of shots like ceremony, reception, portraits, etc.? You kind of know what shots we want to do anyway.
Yeah, I think we've already planned usually. Yeah. Even if you're just going up to a wedding that you've never been before, and you haven't got time to scout about, by the time you walk from the car to the bridal prep room, you would have looked around and you're like, oh, I'm going to have a shop there.
If I was honest with you, me and Ed love going to a new venue. Because we don't need to see it. Our heads are just spinning around like everywhere. Because it's kind of fresh contact for us, really. So we personally love it.
Yeah, and like I make sure I don't scout the venue and I don't Google the venue and see what other photographers done.
All right.
Because I don't want to
that's
copy.
True. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it's a bit like you probably have I've had it many times. I say a client sometimes have seen something on Pinterest or something like that and go, oh, I love this shot, and I said, well, I don't want to copy that shot. Let's see if we can do it better than that shot, or let's do something different to that shot. Let's see if we can improve on that shot, and that's how I like to do it like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just copying. Otherwise, it's the same shot, but there's a different person in it.
It is, isn't it?
I was like,
and you want your wedding photos unique, isn't it?
Personally, for me, it's not the way I like to do things. I want to be different, unique, and you know what I mean. Otherwise, it's the same shot with different people in it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's really funny though. So I've done a wedding at a local venue of mine, and I did this shot with all light shades in a row with a couple right in the end. I was like, oh, this is really cool because like, who would have thought of that? Mm-hmm. And then a mate of mine is like, oh, he looked at it. It's like, oh, I've done a shot like that. It's like, oh, what? so it's quite funny how photographers sometimes we just have the same eye, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. This is. Could you discuss the importance of a second photographer at a wedding? Now then. So not every photographer offers it. Obviously, we don't offer it on some of the packages, but I would say 80% of our packages got it on. So it's someone you need to trust, someone you need to make sure they know what they're doing. Obviously, we trust each other anyway, so we got that. I don't worry about him, he doesn't worry about me, so we say we're going to get it done. But the importance, though, I find, and this is how I actually, not necessarily sell it to a client, but I was like, when they're like, don't know. I was like, well, hold on a sec, because obviously I'm at the front of the aisle.
Yeah.
Second shooter's at the back of the thing. When the groom then looks behind, all I'm getting the back of his head. Yeah. Is where then you get that shot with the first look, and I get the first look of the bride seeing the groom, and you get the groom looking at the bride.
Yeah.
And then another good thing is that we don't have to move around.
No.
And a lot of service and people love that because then with us fixed, you're getting the shots from a different angle, I'm getting other shots from one angle.
Yeah.
It's all covered. You just don't need to be moving around.
Yeah.
Doing something silly, which I always hear horror stories of other photographers like getting booed and getting too close to one thing, whatever else.
And I think another advantage is like if Mike is like main shooting, he's doing the formal groups. I can go around the reception and photograph photograph all the candidates.
So all the bridegroom wouldn't see that.
No. So it's nice for them to see what's happening the rest of the day where they weren't.
Yeah.
So and then it's also a good opportunity to pinch your canopies as well.
He's good at that. He always comes back with food in his face. He doesn't get me one though. But another thing is the portraits with the bride and groom.
Yeah.
So obviously I do one particular shot, but then you have a different perspective. So you know what I mean. So
I make sure because we've had second shooters where they'll just shoot over our shoulders.
Yeah, like here.
So there's no point.
And it's the same shot, and it's like, what is the point there? So sometimes if you've got a second shooter work for you who's doing that, I would say tell them don't do that. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Go from a different perspective, different angle. Go over that side. Don't shoot right next to. Yeah. Don't shoot like this, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Shoot from different angles. Use different lenses, different focal lengths, stuff like that. But then sometimes Ed will kick in. Oh, guys, just I might be main shooting, for example, and then second shooting, and then sometimes he will say, "Oh, guys, can you just do this, this?"
Oh yeah, so I would have seen something.
So because he's got a different perspective, so obviously I'm not going to say no to it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just go ahead and do it.
It was like that wedding a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
you were leading them away. It's like, oh, hang on, stay here for a second.
That's me. Because sometimes you see something.
Yeah.
Oh, but then it was good thing you did that, because then another shot I posted recently on the same one, I walked up that hill, and then I just didn't. When you finished that one, I saw a different, because I was higher and the sun was coming through. Because lower down I couldn't see it. But when I went higher, the sun was beaming through it. So if he didn't do that, I wouldn't have got that shot then. So it's a bit like
just like bounce off each other.
So don't be afraid of the second shooter saying so, because I know some people are like, oh, should I say something? Should I not say something? But if you're gonna say something, just do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't be. At the end of the day, you're both on the same. You're both getting paid, like, you know what I mean. So you're not losing out, really. Like,
no,
you know what I mean? So don't be afraid of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the amount of times they're like, Mike, get out of the way.
Yeah. What else? Oh, that was second shooter. Yeah, we've done that one. How do you handle client expectations and requests for particular shots or styles?
So they would have seen your website and they didn't know what to expect.
I wouldn't worry about it too much, because if you've got a particular, obviously in the post-production stuff and all on the courses, on the workshops, exercise, we'll talk about more, because Ed's got a slightly different style to me, and vice versa. How he edits is different to the way I edit, and he's got different presets to what I've got presets. So again, I mean, most clients are gonna see your work anyway, even before you get here. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
before you have a consultation,
they would have scoured your website.
Oh, they'll scour videos if you do videography or photos, whatever else. They'll scan all that, and if they like what they see, if they contact you, then probably a high percentage are going to book you anyway.
Yeah. Or you could always, what I used to do when I first started, I used to ask from my website, which one of those is your favourite shot. So it gives me a rough idea of what I should get. Make sure I got in the bag just for that. That's a good one.
So, I've had a few clients go on Pinterest and make a board.
Yeah. Out of all your photos?
No, just what they would like.
Yeah.
But then obviously I still say, well, I can't guarantee, I'm not going to copy that, because that's just wrong.
Yeah.
But it gives me a rough idea of what they're looking for. So that's one thing I've obviously, and then they can share the board with yourselves, stuff like that. So again, don't kind of...
Yeah.
But then otherwise... They've seen your style, they've seen what type of shots they want, so they kind of know what to expect anyway. So I won't worry about it too much. If someone says, "Oh, they want a bit darker," X, Y, Z, it's up to you if you want to do that. But I just do what I need to do. Just trusting your own process.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing. With the workshops and whatever else, we'll tell you how to get your unique look, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the amount of photographers we know. Yeah. Everyone. Sometimes I look at a shot and goes, "Oh, that's Ed's, or that's someone else's." You know what I mean? You don't even know.
You know what's really funny as well? It's like when I second shot for people, and I maybe a year later they would have brought the photo up again from memories or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, that looks familiar." Or sometimes I'm like, "Oh, that's a nice photo," and I look at it, it's like, "Oh, I took that one." We just kind of that's right. Yeah, you just know the particular style or whatever it is, or the look of it or whatever it is.
Yeah. And the look obviously comes on the day as well, because obviously you're prepping for that particular shot as well. So the whole process from shooting it to editing it to post-producing it is so important.
Yeah.
And then obviously we'll teach you how to get your own little look and style and stuff like that, which is kind of.
Which helps then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because you don't want to be like the rest of the photographers, because what sets you apart, with your own style.
100%, mate. What's your advice for bidding wedding photographers wedding photographers? Yeah, just starting out. Oof. So someone's just starting out, in other words.
Yeah, well, we kind of covered most of that, really, isn't it?
Most people, when people ask me that, there's one thing I always say: because don't learn about cameras or lenses, and obviously that you'll learn that naturally anyway over time. One thing I always say to everyone: understand light.
Yeah.
Understand that light temperature to different lights. So, because there's some photographers, for example, you probably see now it's quite sun, so it's like a sun beaming right in. But then there's a lot of photographers that would hate it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But then, and then some people I like cloud age, that's really fair enough. But it's about knowing how to deal with that scenario, as well as using harsh light to using not light.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to cast a shadow on people when you don't have to. But there's ways of doing things. Over time, I've learned, you can use any light source.
You use it to your advantage, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just knowing how to use that.
Yeah, definitely.
But personally, light is kind of understanding that, and I find that and then that will just set you off to other things.
I think another advice though is, which I think is quite important, is to have fun yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it just rubs off on the couple, and then you just get 100%. Relaxed. And you can imagine, if you're not having fun and you're all awkward and nervous, you're just standing there.
But then that's awkward for them as well.
Sorry?
That's awkward for them then.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. It'll reflect on the photos.
Oh, 100%.
So
it'll show.
Yeah. So if you're having fun, you're having fun, bonus.
Yeah.
And then it'll rub off on them even better.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be your job, so enjoy it.
You just got to trust in your own process. But then that'll only come over time, isn't it, I guess? You know what I mean? Learning, whatever else.
Yes, yeah. Repetitive, so keep doing it.
Yeah. Even if she's got a camera out, just learn in your house.
Yeah. Because I used to, I'd photograph my kids. I actually bought a polystyrene head.
That's still good about it,
yeah. So I literally put it by the window.
Yeah.
And I'll move the head around. Yeah. I also move the camera around.
Yeah.
And then I'll see how the light falls on the face.
It's quite funny because when I was doing off-camera flash stuff, all these stop boxes and all that type of stuff, I used to have an ornament, and I used to then just try.
Well, yeah, I used to use the
it's the same thing. Beds. And then just using different, just walking around. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a better angle. Oh, hold on a second. Put it up here, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, for example, we shot that wedding we did, and the light was just on the groom.
What?
Do you remember we were doing off-camera flash and I said, and then I was trying to get the light on both of them, but the light was just on the groom.
Yeah.
Obviously, every time I flashed, he was holding the light, and I said, Ed, you need to move the light slightly over the thing. But obviously, because it's not constant, it's flash, you can't see it.
Yeah.
So it's this, you go, look, no, it's more to the left, more
to
the right.
Yeah, it was also gridded, so it was like a beam of light. So
that's right too. It was gridded. Yeah, so it's kind of a little bit harder again, you know what I mean? But we got there eventually. You know what I mean?
Communication.
Yeah, and then just read.
I like even though we were practice shots or messed up shots or whatever. We had a laugh doing it, and the bride and groom were laughing.
Yeah.
And
and they were waiting for probably a minute or two while we set something up or whatever else. Again, people. It goes back to the first conversation we were having. Where we're saying, slow down.
Yeah.
But again, just slow it down, get it right. Don't worry don't worry too much about the client because they want for you to get the nice shot of them anyway.
Well, yeah, and it just gives them time. I think when you have shooting bride and groom portraits, it's the first time that they're having to themselves type of thing, away from
that's
guests.
right too. Yeah.
So when you are taking 2 minutes to figure out what you're doing in the setting,
that's right,
then
true, mate.
At least they got a little bit of time together.
Very true.
But when you first start, those 2 minutes will feel like 1 hour,
10 hours, or whatever. But trust me, it's just talk, banter, whatever else. Just keep talking, whatever else. It's hold on a second. You're like,
I know. So I know. I remember back in the day when I first realised I could just literally change the settings on my camera without even looking at the screen.
Yeah.
So I literally walk into a room and I'd be like. And then I looked through the viewfinder. It's perfect. I was like, oh my god, I'm too geeky for this.
Doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah. Or I've had newbies next to me, not at weddings, just shooting scenery or whatever, and they'll take a photo, and I'll be like, and I hear they shut down. I'll be like, and I go, that's come up blurred, doesn't it? So you can hear the shutter speed so slow. But yeah, it's so funny. So as you get more experience, you just pick up stuff like that. It's so funny.
But that's the thing. That's what I love about this industry, though. There's not one right or wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
You just learn and keep learning and keep adapting and keep adapting, really. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you know what I mean?
Learn every day, isn't it?
That's what I mean, mate. Do you know what I mean? There's no such thing Oof. Can you share a memorable experience or challenge you faced during your wedding shoot? Oh my goodness gracious me, that's a good question. I've got so many. I could be here all day, but I ain't gonna do that for you. Sugar.
I'm trying to think of a good one.
I've had lots of.
I've had one. It wasn't too bad though, but the bride and groom didn't want any posed photos or any directed photos. I'm like, oh my god, I feel as if I'm not doing any work here. I feel as if like I feel like I owe them a nice portrait.
Yeah.
But they didn't want that. But so I was like, oh guys, can I just like have one photo? So I literally, guys, like, look at me, look at the camera, look at each other, have a walk down there, give it a little first dance twirl up there, and walk back, and that was it.
Yeah.
And they were chuffed with the photos.
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, oh, I haven't done enough. Yeah. But yeah, as long as the clients are happy.
Yeah, I mean, the only one that comes to mind at the moment, well, there's a few things, but one in particular, sometimes might happen to you eventually, is when someone's booked you and then don't want any photos on the day. As in a sense, no portraits.
Oh, okay. Just literally candid.
Yeah, and then literally the bride coming up to me and goes, and I literally took them out for one shot, for example.
Yeah. And
then the bride comes to me and says, Mike, I can't be bothered with this. I just want to go in and drink and stuff like that. But then I had to then say to her, just so you know, I've only got one shot of you.
I remember that wedding.
I've only got one shot of you.
Yeah.
So you can't blame. So I put it back to her. Said, you can't come back. You can't come to me and blame me that we didn't get enough portraits and enough shots of you, stuff like that. It was a great wedding, XYZ, and it's a shame really because they were a nice, good-looking couple. But then I got on my back at once because I said to her, I'm not happy. I wanted something, and then we did the night shot with the big gazebo thing with it all lit up and all that stuff. So and then literally but funny with that because I knew what they were. I had to do it quick. Yeah. Because otherwise we won that. So obviously we set it all up. Get all the exposures right, settings over that, and then I literally just grabbed him. She ran over there, literally did one or two shots, literally just one or two, that was all. And then she went off drinking again and partying and stuff like that. Yeah. But then she actually messaged me, said, "Oh Mike, there wasn't a lot of us." Like 6 to 7 weeks later. Yeah. And I said, "Well, I did tell you."
I know.
And because I said to her that, she can't come back to me and say that. That's the only frustrating for me is when someone pays a lot of money for us or for you guys and then they don't want any photos. So just be, again, there's a way of saying it without being abrupt or a bit rude, because at the end of the day you're there to do a job.
Yeah. You can't please everybody as well.
No, that's right too.
That's quite important.
Don't overthink it. Like, you know, if no one wants it, then you can't force it on.
Yeah, and
you just gotta be honest and tell them that. Like,
and if you get like bad review, don't worry about too much of it. Don't stress. It's probably them and not you, and because like that's just literally going to eat away at you. So you just got. Like, I'm quite lucky. I learned really early on. I know. I was like, right, okay, that's done, dusted. I replied. I'll move on, and then that was it. Then. But like, yeah,
you always have a client who says, "Oh, this or that." You know what I mean? It's whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very rare though, but it does happen occasionally.
Yeah. So
I wanted that shot, and I did this shot at XYZ. But yeah.
I know. I've actually had one listed. Like, give me a spreadsheet listed like amount of photos that she didn't like. It was something like, I don't know, maybe like 60 photos she didn't like or something. And I'm like, well, I delivered like 1,000 photos or whatever it is.
So it's very small.
So, you know, you like a lot of the photos, just delete the ones you don't like.
Yeah, it's just, some people are a little bit fanatical about stuff. But, you know, you'll always have people asking you about, can I have chins and bums and boobs and I want this, I want that, X, Y, Z, and you know what I mean? You can't be rude to it, like you're just going, oh no, you're fine, don't worry about it.
I know.
Let's say if you have but one thing as a wedding photographer in general, you're not just a photographer on the day.
No.
How many dresses we've done, how many buttonholes have we fitted?
I know.
How many, sometimes we've all got to organise the wedding party because no one else is doing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's you know, sometimes we got to tell our welcome drinks are over there. We got to, you know what I mean? We're not just, that's one thing you'll learn over time. You're not just a photographer. You're helping, organising the whole day as well. Like almost. Sometimes I feel like you're doing that half the day. Yeah. Technically, you're supposed to be over there shooting, but you're doing 10 times more things.
And emotional support as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you're all right. Don't worry about it. Like, or dramas everywhere. Like, you know, You'll get family dramas. You'll see all that. You hear all that.
Yeah.
Some good, some bad. X, Y, Z. You experience all that. Trust me. Yeah. We have another 5 hours. We discuss all that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of cool.
Right. I've had too much coffee and liquids. I need to pee.
Oh.
So you write on your own while I run off.
Me.
Right. We're gonna make it a real. See, we're not cutting. Oh my god.
Okay. Well, we're almost to the end anyway, so that's fine. So, how do you stay update with the latest trends and technology in photography? That's a good one. So, good trends in photography. If I was honest with you, I keep as much. We try to keep a date as much as we humanly can, but obviously it goes back to equipment and cost of things. Obviously, not everything is going to be affordable, things like that. Or sometimes people change the cameras and bodies every time. Obviously, I try to do it every 2-3 years, something like that. But normally you would hear in the Rhines and there's Facebook groups and whatever else, and there's people talking about different things, or what if, people are constantly talking about about new equipment and things like that on blog posts, Facebook, Instagram, new trends, new equipment, XYZ. So that kind of all comes there. Like, if I was completely honest with you, but yeah, that's pretty much it really. Just constantly just seeing what other people are doing, see people talking. See what other equipment is out there, but there's no right or wrong way of doing it. If I was completely honest with you, like, you know what I mean. So yeah. Maybe Ed will have something else to say about that. I don't know. What is your process of selecting and delivering final photos to the couple? So there's different photographers do different things. I mean, for ourselves, obviously in our packages we have we upload it to the gallery, and obviously we have different websites and things like that where we can obviously password protected, watermarked, and we send that a link and password XYZ. We only send that to the client, so obviously we do that anyway. So that's way, and then they get a USB stick, and then we have like a wooden box and all that type of stuff. So there's wooden boxes which I brand and things like that. Sometimes some photographers personalise it, but that's kind of that. Really. Yeah, just a question. It. He's back. Don't worry, guys.
Oh. Right.
So the question was, my friend, was what is the process of selecting and delivering final photos to the couple? So I just said about the USB boxes, stuff like that, online gallery.
Boxes, sorry?
USB boxes.
All right.
With the online gallery with passwords, with watermarks, we put watermarks on that, stuff like that.
Okay.
That's how I kind of deliver it. You're kind of saying it to me, really.
Yeah. Were they asking about selecting photos as well, though?
I only asked the client for that if they're doing an album. So obviously I know.
No, as in like the digital, like.
No, for me, I know some photographers do that, but I don't do that. So if I upload, say, 1,000 images, they'll get them all.
Yeah.
I don't limit it to say, right, you can only select. So if you upload, say, 1,000, but you can only pick 500 of them. Yeah. So I personally, for me, I go, what's the point of you keeping the 500? I know some people will say, well, you can make extra money or extra payment for that, but I was like, well, technically they've already paid for it.
Yeah, and it's also like, nobody likes hidden extra costs.
No. So for me, I was like, if I upload 1,100, 1,200, whatever it is, you get them all. So just keep it easy, simple.
So obviously we just delete duplicates, delete blurred shots, test shots, and all that, and then you just end up with whatever.
And then there's some photographers who will personalise USB boxes for the couple.
Yeah.
I don't personally do that because I think it takes away from the brand, but which again, I won't talk about it too much now, but it could talk. That's more about the business and the branding of your own business, which we'll talk about in the workshops XYZ. So that's kind of that really, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think we've done how long we'll be talking for now. We're talking for a good while, probably a bit longer than what we should have done anyway. But yeah, no. If there's obviously we'll do some more of these Q&As and stuff like that in the future. But obviously we're doing obviously our workshop courses, things like that, our mentorship programs which are live, and we've also got the photography hangout meetings and stuff like that online. And we're also going to update a lot more online courses in the coming months, as well as the workshops which we're doing. Like live workshops, I call it really, if that makes sense, where you actually speak to us really. And the mentorship one is really what puts Seltzers apart. We're not just like not just like signing you up for a month, a year, whatever it is, and then say here's the videos, go and learn. You actually get us too on it.
Yeah.
WhatsApp.
More personal touch, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, as I said earlier, if you got a question, you would literally ask us. You know what I mean? Yeah. And trust me, we've done mistakes. We know how the systems work. We know, you know what I mean? You know, if you just want to get 10 weddings, great. If you want to get 30 weddings, great. If you want to get 30, 50 weddings, great. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we'll show you how to get to that point where you're actually making a living from that. But personally, if you're starting off or want to improve the business, we're just here to improve you. Sometimes it could be just the smallest things. Like, for example, don't mind me saying it.
No, I appreciated your help that day. It's made such a difference. It's crazy.
So Ed was wondering why he wasn't getting. Well, he was getting inquiries and bookings XYZ, wasn't it? But it was just a couple of tweaks.
Yeah, they started going quiet as well.
Yeah, it was a couple of tweaks, and I said, right, okay, let me have a look at it. And then I said, right, you need. So one of his packages, I told him to take it up £100. I think the middle one, wasn't it? So again, I won't talk too much about it now, but it was pretty much like sense of, right, you need to do this, and in space of how many bookings since you've done all that?
Okay, I don't know, but
it's quite a few.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, a lot more than.
So sometimes looking at something from a fresh point of view, even if it's down to the smallest things, can make a massive difference in any business. Even if it's SEO, branding, which I think is the key, as well as packaging, marketing, and things like that. Obviously, and that's a personal touch. So we're never going to say to you, listen, that if you try this, and we might say to you, let's try that. Oh, let's try this. Again, there's no right or wrong way of doing this.
Yeah, and I think it's important to keep an open mind and be able to accept criticism. And because if I didn't, accept that, I'd be like, no, Mike, I'm not listening to you. Yeah. Then I wouldn't have been in the position I am.
Yeah. But then this means you got extra work. That's what
I mean. So you got to listen to the negativity as well, so that you can improve on it.
But that also goes in the photography.
Yes, definitely. Because sometimes negatively, I mean criticism.
But no. Because sometimes, obviously, I do awards. You know, I submit my images into awards, whatever else, and I don't win it all the time. And I go, okay, fair enough. It wasn't good enough for that particular thing. Just take it as a good thing, personally. Yeah, it's nice when you win, but it's not very nice when you don't win. But at the end of the day, you also then think, oh, okay, what can I do better on the next shot?
Yeah, and speaking of which, right, so this is quite important, I found, because I did this very early on in my career. I took a really nice photo and I posted it in the Facebook group. And then it just got ripped apart by other photographers. This is wrong with it, that's wrong with it. I can see you've cloned this and cloned that, blah, blah, blah. So like that put a little downer on me, but then in my head I was thinking, well, the bride and groom are happy with it. I've been paid for this already. They were absolutely chuffed with that photo. Well, that's one of their favourite photos. Yeah. But it wasn't good enough for other photographers. But that didn't matter because my clients were happy. Yeah. And then from that I had referrals and everything, and so don't go posting on social media expecting or wanting likes and positive feedback, because you're not going to get it from other photographers unless, because like some groups are alright, but you will get toxic people out there.
Yeah. But for myself, I submit my images to different awards, wedding awards, and whatever it is, and I don't win all the time, XYZ. Sometimes I really want I fancy that, I think I might have a good chance, and then it comes back with nothing. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's like recently I submitted three images to one of the world's XYZ, and to be published I need to get 80 marks to be published, and I got 77. I was 3 marks off to be published and to be an award, but I got 77 out of 80. 77 out of 1, but you needed like 80 and above to be recognised, and I got 3 marks off. I was a bit gutted, but I was like, fair enough. I took it on the chin. I was like, it's fair enough. And then just move on to the next one. And then wait till the next one, XYZ. Sometimes you get them shots. It doesn't happen often, but when everything ticks the box: the client, the weather, the location. When you got all them boxes and it literally lines. That's when you know you got the shot.
Planets align.
Yeah, but then you just know then you got the shot, like, you know what I mean? So yeah. But again, obviously on the courses of that, we'll discuss all this and the closer and things like that. But yeah. All right. Right, we'll call it a day now, huh? All right.
Cool. Yeah, definitely.
If you want to contact us, use the website links, things like that. If you want other questions, just contact us. Otherwise, that's it. Thanks very much, guys. Have a good day.
Woo!